Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we have something a little bit different. I thought I would take you round on a tour of what is currently one of the largest ships in Star Citizen. No review here, just a walk around and a look at what some of these ships can be like. As always, if you find yourself enjoying the video, please do consider dropping a like and maybe hitting that sub button. It makes a huge difference to a smaller creator like me and it helps me out more than you could ever know. With all that out the way, let's get into it. So this is the Anvil Carrack, and in many ways it embodies what Star Citizen is about for a lot of people. Plenty of promise that hasn't quite been realised yet, with a lot of gameplay elements that this ship should be used for, not currently existing in the game. So our tour of the Carrack actually begins from outside of the ship. As of 4.0, the cargo pods on the bottom of the Carrack now actually deploy, which is a very welcome change as the ship has been relatively useless up until now. In the future, these pods are designed to come down to the ground for making vehicle storage and cargo storage much easier. For the time being, this is what we've got. Moving round to the front of the Carrack, we will be entering via the front vehicle ramp. Currently, this is the only entrance to the Carrack. Hopefully in the future there may be an elevator that comes down to the ground. As we enter up the ramp, you will see there is plenty of space for vehicles, easily being able to fit one if not two Ursas into this vehicle garage. Sadly, no cargo bay and no cargo grids. Also a deployable ramp at the back, which is designed to stop the vehicles rolling back towards the door and blocking it, which is a nice touch. Stepping through the doors at the back, we have the elevator, which will take us to the other decks of the ship, and the docking collar as well. Moving through into the cargo area, there is an above platform where you can view the cargo and check on operations that are happening, as well as some handy controls to actually open and close the cargo bays from the interior of the ship as well. Each cargo pod also comes with a small elevator to take you down to the ground level. Moving back through the ship, there are several of these cargo areas. And moving further to the rear of the ship, we move into the armory location. Very large weapon racks and suit lockers here. Plenty of space to gear up, and this is also mirrored on the other side. Moving even further back is the aft turret. This is the first of 4 turrets that the Carrack comes equipped with. Excellent view to the rear lower section of the ship. As we move further round into the second armory, another very large weapons rack and suit lockers as well. Now, as we take this elevator, we will move up to the habitation deck. First door on our right is a recreation area for the crew, equipped with pool table and a window to see the outside as well. Plenty of space for the crew to get up and move around and keep themselves busy during those exploration trips. Moving through to the crew sleeping quarters now. Equipped with 2 bunk beds, easily accessible, as well as having storage lockers for each crew member as well. All fully functional and usable. The Carrack is full of small little quirks and Easter eggs here, such as this post-it note. Makes the ship feel like it's actually been used and lived in, which seems fairly rare for a lot of ships, to be honest. Another door takes us through to the shower area, again for the crew. And another door from the recreation area takes you through to the crew toilets. Plenty of washroom area and separate toilet cubicles too. Across the way is a mess hall as well for all members of the crew. Large table that can be used for dining, meetings, anything that you need really. And yet another window to the outside, always appreciated in my opinion. Moving further down the corridor. Here we can see on our left the captain's area. Full office location for the captain of the ship. Fully equipped with chessboard, desk and seat as well. Hopefully in the future these screens will serve some form of purpose, either with engineering gameplay or exploration gameplay when that comes in, but for now it's just a nice place. As we move through, we also have the sleeping quarters for the captain as well, separate from the rest of the crew with their own bunk and storage, including their own shower and toilet area too. Of course, you don't want to be rubbing shoulders with the rest of the crew. Handily, the captain's quarters are also very close to the bridge. And as we enter, we see an elevator here that takes you up to the upper bridge. And 3 pilot chairs. The center seat is for the actual pilot with 2 additional co-pilot seats as well. As we move back out of the bridge, we'll see several servers on either side, presumably for storing the information that is picked up while exploring. As we go back out into the corridor, we move into the center of the ship and into the medical facilities. A wonderful addition to a ship this size. You will see some graphical glitches along the way, so do forgive that. To each side there is a bed, not currently a medical bed as such, potentially just a waiting or recovery area for patients. A storage room off to the left hand side. As with many things in Star Citizen, currently nothing usable in this room, but it's a nice touch. And in the center is where the medical magic happens. This is a tier 3 medical bed and can also be used for respawns as well. The medical panel can be accessed both via the screen on the wall and also on the bed. And over onto the right hand side there is a technician's office as well. In the future this may be used to control the other forms of medical gameplay. Leaving the medical bay, there is a side door that leads to an access ladder should your elevators not be working. A nice interesting feature, especially when elevators were bugged at the time. Potentially during engineering, elevators may shut down in ships this kind of size as well, so the access ladder is a nice touch in my opinion. Moving further to the rear of the ship, we also have another elevator as well. Now, this elevator has access to the 4th deck of the ship, which we will take a look at a little bit later on. And as we leave the elevator, we are instantly greeted by the Carrack's onboard hangar. While it may look very large, it's actually surprisingly small. There aren't many ships that do fit in here. However, a Pisces does fit, which is a very good addition to the Carrack. As we come round to the rear side of the hangar, we have the controls that open the doors. Plenty of viewing angles for members of the crew to monitor ships coming in and out of the hangar, should for any reason you be boarded. On the right hand side here we have the drone operation bay, another very promising feature that isn't currently in the game. Presumably these will be exploration drones that can be controlled by the operators to spread out from the Carrack and go out and gather information. And across the hall we also have a drone repair area as well. Be very interesting to see how this gameplay emerges. Potentially this could be used as a small fabrication bay as well. And finally, towards the front of the ship, we have the upper bridge, which comes equipped with plenty of escape pods for every member of the crew, and the actual bridge itself. 2 co-pilot chairs and a holographic cartography table maybe. And as we head to the front, another command station that can actually be used to pilot the ship as well. And there is the command station on the right hand side of the upper deck that is actually a remote turret station for the upper turret of the Carrack. Very good fields of fire on this particular turret. So moving back around to the rear of the ship, we also have the left and right side turrets as well. Both of these are manned turrets that come from the protrusions of the wings themselves, as we will demonstrate now. These turrets are particularly interesting as they do hop out of the Carrack a little more than I personally would be comfortable with if I was really sat in this seat. It seems very exposed. I could easily imagine getting bumped off during an exchange and just floating off into space in a ball of death. At the very rear of the deck is the engineering bay. Now this is a very large area and this is a very large ship. Those people who are excited about the engineering gameplay, this could easily become your home. Lots of components to work with, and also a secondary deck to the engineering bay as well. Thankfully, there is an elevator engineering section as well to get you back up to that upper floor. And finally, back to the rear side elevator to tour the last deck of the Carrack and my personal favourite, the cartography deck. This area of the ship has some of the best views. Moving through to the very rear is the cartography station. Presumably this is where we will be gathering a lot of information about the celestial bodies that we are around. As of right now, it's just a very pretty hologram. Moving through to the viewing platforms, we do have escape pods. Very large viewing windows to the side. And another large viewing area to the front as well, overlooking the hangar. And an airlock door to take us out. We will take a proper look at this out in space. And these are the views you can expect from that viewing platform. Amazing. I'm always a huge fan of when ships do windows and being able to see what is going on outside. And the Carrack is a prime example of that. And those airlock doors over to the side make EVAing an absolute breeze. So what can the Carrack actually be used for? So exploration gameplay and science gameplay isn't currently in the game at the moment, but that doesn't make the Carrack completely useless. With the addition of the cargo pods now opening, it can be used as a relatively large cargo hauler. Potentially it can also be a mobile base of operations for ground assaults or other forms of combat as well. The large armory as well as the tier 3 medical bed make it an ideal home base for a small organization conducting ground operations as well. Hopefully as these gameplay elements do start to get fleshed out a little bit more, the Carrack will really start to come into its own. For the time being, it's just a very large, very pretty ship. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.